keep it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Very nice, I'm looking at the camera. Very nice, good, good, good. Preloaders, VI preloaders, welcome back to the channel, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me, and you know this by now, or at least you should. For those of you that are here for the first time, welcome to you as well. My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant, and the name of this channel is Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. This is my girl, Allure. Allure is my 2023 Harley-Davidson Breakout, and if you're not new to this channel, yes, this is another upgrade for Allure, and I'm excited about this one. I'm very excited about this one. This is going to be a very, very special upgrade, and what makes this upgrade so special, for me at least, is the person that's going to be here with me more than what's being upgraded on the motorcycle. So for those of you that don't know, I have 3 other motorcycles, a 2019 CVO Street Glide, a 2021 CVO Limited, and a 2019 Road King Special. And all 3 of these motorcycles are outfitted with Wilbur's suspension. I also had a 2021 Road Glide CVO that I also installed Wilbur's suspension on. This is just an awesome, awesome suspension system, and immediately I noticed the difference on all of my motorcycles when I upgraded them. Well, today is Allure's chance to get this upgrade, and I'm so excited about this because it's not like the person that's coming here to do the installation and provide the suspension to me. They're not from around the corner, you know what I mean? He's from Germany. His name is Stefan. He's a VI preloader, and there's another VI preloader with him. His name is Mark. They're actually neighbors in Germany, and they're going to be here with me today again in my garage, this time for Allure. So I just can't thank them enough. It's just, wow. I mean, I'm really at a loss for words because it's not like they flew from Germany, which would be in and of itself enough. It's not like they flew from Germany and landed here in Savannah. They actually flew into, I believe, North Carolina, and then they had to drive here. So it's just, again, above and beyond. So I want to thank Stefan and Mark for just making the trip and for coming here to work on my girl. I want to thank Wilbur Suspension too for providing the suspension to me. And I'm going to talk to you guys about something else about this suspension that's going on this motorcycle that is so, so special. All right, guys? All right, but first, let's talk to Stefan. Then we're going to do an unboxing on this suspension, and then we're going to get it on Allure and see what we see. I already know what it's going to be, so let's do it. All right, guys, so before I talk about the product, of course, I got to talk about the man that delivered the product and the man that outfitted all of my girls with Wilbur suspension. Stefan?
Welcome. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
glad to be back. It's almost a year that we did the last exercise.
Yeah, always a pleasure. And I have to be quite honest, I didn't know when I was going to see you again because, again, it's not like you're coming from across the street.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you making the trip. Mark, come on over here, man.
Sure.
Because Mark, you guys are neighbors, right?
Yeah.
And Mark is also a VI preloader. And Mark's going to be, we're going to be going on the ride, of course, because we got to test out the suspension. Mark's going to be riding Angel again. If you guys didn't see that video of the other Wilbur suspension installs, I'll put a link for it up here on the right-hand side of the screen. What's your name, even though I said it 4 times?
That's true. My name is Mark, and I'm joining Stefan to help a little bit to make an installment here and have fun with you guys.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, thanks, guys. Now, listen, guys. Stefan delivered this suspension. He sealed the box, and he told me do not open it. He wants me to open it on camera so it can be authentic, my reaction to it. And listen, that's how I always do my unboxings. But he even came here today and rechecked the seals. He was like, let me just make sure, you know. So, all right, guys. So I'm going to open it up. You see Allure's name is on it, and this is what Stefan does all the time for my other motorcycles. He did the same thing, Valiant, Violet, Blaze, and Angel. I don't like to talk about Blaze.
Blaze, which is the most beautiful girl. It used to be the most beautiful girl
Yes.
in the garage, but that's an insider joke.
Yes, I don't like to talk about Blaze around him because, you know, sentimental. He's a Road Glide guy. Oof. Look at that. Guys, now usually when I do an unboxing, I put the camera right over it. But oh my gosh. As a matter of fact, you know what? Before I take this out, that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, guys, just so you have the same experience that I had when I opened up this box. All right, you ready? Whoa. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. That thing is substantial. All right, so I don't know everything I'm looking at, so we're going to talk to Stefan. He's going to explain some stuff to us about this suspension and anything else that's in this kit that I'm not aware of. I see here we have some oil. I know that's for the front forks. And then over here we have some more oil. And I'm pretty sure we have way more than we need. That's usually the way they do it, always prepared. Yes. And then under here we have some fork springs. And I remember what we talked about with the fork springs before as far as the material. That makes a huge, huge difference. Not being, you know, there's not a lot of friction, smooth. Okay, so we're going to talk to Stefan and let him explain to us more about the suspension that's going on this motorcycle. All right, so again, we have, this is the rear shock, and this is all we need for the front suspension as well as the oil, correct?
That's correct.
And of course, we have pictures of this, so it lets us know what it's for. All right, so talk to us about this shock, first of all, and what differentiates this from what's already on here.
It's, sorry to say, a lot higher quality. So
that doesn't surprise me.
No, because, well, this is for large numbers in production.
Yeah.
So it has to match a certain price point, and it is a good suspension,
Yeah.
no doubt. But average.
Yeah.
It's average. But if you want to have something better, you have to invest into the components, and this one is a lot beefier. The material is higher quality. You got an hydraulic adjuster. Well, this one has as well a hydraulic adjuster, but all the components are tailor-made. So
Okay.
from Wilbers, there's nothing out of the shelf with large numbers. You have to submit your weight and all the data, and then they will custom make the shock. If you say, oh, I'm a sportier rider, then you get a couple of more shims in the damper.
Okay.
So it's your personal shock.
That's great.
And that's the main thing. It's not a mass production. It is really tailor-made for the customers.
Gotcha.
And we have to say, you got this because we are friends.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Because normally, this set of shocks is not sold in the United States. The self-leveling ones are sold for the baggers, which we have here. And for the Milwaukee 8 Softails, there's a self-leveling version in development. Hopefully, the prototype will be ready in a couple of weeks, and the finished product will be available by, let's say, end of summer. I hope so. And those self-leveling shocks for the Softails, like the Heritage, the Sport Glide, which is very popular in Europe, or the Lowrider ST. So all those bikes that are ridden with one or two riders to have the advantage of the self-leveling technology. So those guys are really waiting for it, and they will definitely be available in the United States. So this is just a present among friends. And for now, you will be the only one in the United States riding such a shock, probably one of the first ones on the planet.
Wait a minute, hold on.
The first ones on the planet, because it's just released maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's brand new.
Wow. Guys, so full disclosure, I knew this already, but every time he says it, I told you guys I had a surprise for you, and why this install of the Wilbur suspension was so much more special than any other ones that I have, and that's because, like Stefan just said, Allure is going to be the first motorcycle. Well, I thought it was just in the United States. Now you're saying anywhere.
A prototype in Germany has it, but I don't know if it's winter in Germany. I don't know if there are any sets sold so far.
That is outstanding. I mean, guys, it doesn't get any better than that. It just doesn't. So, all right, now I'm even more excited. All right, what else can you tell me? What else are you doing? This is, for those that don't know about, well, hold on. Are you finished with this?
Well, sorry to disappoint you. Guys, in the United States, it is probably not in the inventory of the Wilbers USA guys, but if you want to keep up with Robert, you can custom order it, of course. Send out an email to Wilbers USA or call the guys on the phone. It takes a couple of weeks because those parts are manufactured in Germany according to your specs, and then they will be shipped to the United States. Don't ask me about the price, as it's not planned to sell it, but you can definitely get it, and the price should still be pretty comparative.
And it's a special order, but the good news is we don't know the price, but we know it's going to be less expensive, obviously, than the Nivomat.
Definitely less than the Nivomat, because it's a different technology, so it's easier to be manufactured.
And it's not self-adjusting as well, so that's another thing. And it's only one shock instead of two.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm excited, but let me calm down. Is there anything else you want to tell us about this?
Yeah, we went all in for Robert, because normally, as Allure is going to be bike only ridden by Robert, normally you don't need the adjuster. So this is an option, the adjuster, and the black finish is as well an option, and it's a higher quality shock.
Yeah.
So normally let's say the simplest Wilbers shocks would have matched all your needs.
Yeah.
However, as we are friends, and I know that you like some cool finishes, we went for the better option, and then as an option the hydraulic adjuster and the black finish.
Because he said ordinarily this comes in a different finish.
In a black spring and silver casing.
So I like it. And here's the funny thing, guys. I appreciate this even though you're never going to see it. That's right? Yeah. You'll never see it, but I see it because I still do work under the seat. But we're going to get to that. We're going to take that shock out, and we're going to do a little comparison side by side, see what they look like, and go from there.
But we start with you making a fool out of yourself. We start with an English-German lesson.
Oh, lesson Sie beat vor fahren, what the die? Forget about that one. Okay. There's no way.
Just turn it over.
Oh, so much easier. Please read the manual before first ride. All right.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right, anything you want to tell us about these springs? I know you mentioned this already in the last video, but for those that didn't see it.
For those that didn't see it.
They need to go back and watch it.
Yeah, watch the bagger install.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. Special springs for the breakout fork, as well out of the Wilbers steel and surface treated, so soft like a baby bottom. I learned my lesson, my vocabulary.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's going to be less friction.
Yeah, and as well the matching oil for this kind of spring. And yeah, I think we will save some time on the front forks during the install, as we have no lighting to be removed and no fairings to be removed.
That's right.
But the rear one will take a little bit more time.
Okay.
We need to remove the battery, some other stuff in order to get to the shock.
To get down into there. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys what that looks like with the seat off, and then we'll go from there. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so just removing the seat, 2 screws. And that's it right there. That's the shock. That's the stock shock. All right, and as you guys can see, yeah, she's going to have to remove some stuff to get that shock out. I got some Custom Dynamics lights, and he was like, oh, we got here too late.
Yeah.
But this is not like before. This is going to be easier. There's a bracket right here. I can see that there's a screw here. And then there's another one over here. Obviously, he's going to have to remove that. And it doesn't look like it's going to be that complicated. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, so the front wheel has been removed. And I can tell you right now, it was a lot quicker than if I had to do it. A lot quicker.
I can tell you that's correct.
So everything that's in that fork, we're reusing, except for the springs?
Except for the springs and the oil.
Okay.
Now we have the side-by-side comparison of the 2 springs. The Wilbers spring is a little bit shorter, but which doesn't matter because the preload will be the same as it is a stiffer material. And the biggest difference I just noticed is the Harley spring is a linear spring. So With the Wilbur spring, we have a progressive spring rate. So that means if there are some small imperfections or bumps, then the Wilbur's fork will be smooth. However, if needed, like on some other YouTubers' channels for off-road usage, which you are not going to do, please promise me.
I will not.
It will be very sensitive at the beginning, but very stiff and hard at the end when it reaches the wider spring rate.
That's what she said.
That's
All
what
right.
Okay.
All right, so Stefan, does it matter which way you insert that spring into the fork?
It does, because the oil level by the manufacturer of the suspension is calibrated by the mounting direction of the fork.
Okay.
Because if you mount it this way, then more oil will be dispersed, and therefore the oil level might not be correct. And that's especially critical on older type forks with a 41 millimeter fork tube. On this one, it's just a minor issue, but at least it's an issue. And as we are Germans, we want to have it perfect.
That's right.
So therefore, the Wilbur spring is calibrated with the thicker, the progressive end facing upwards.
Okay.
And we already calibrated the oil level. Don't forget the washer. And then one just free tech tip. You notice that we still have the preload sleeve, and it's very hard with this fine thread and the pressure to find the beginning of the thread. So therefore, forget the preload sleeve. Take your time to find the beginning of the thread. You see, it's already difficult without even having any preload on it. Here we are. And then, as Robert doesn't mind to have some blue markings on a lure, just mark the beginning of the thread. And then you should be able, under pressure, with the preload sleeve installed, to get the thread going at the first attempt. And this is not scripted. Let's see if it works. I hope it does. Sometimes even with a trick it takes me 10 times.
You got lucky on that first one.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, but you didn't have the camera on. Not edited.
Got lucky again? Look at that.
The trick works. And you don't mind to have some blue pinstripes on your bike.
No, blue's my favorite color.
Yeah, I knew it. What about pink?
Pink is Anita's favorite color.
Okay, then let's get some pink stripes for the rear shock.
Pink and purple. You can put whatever color you want on that shock. You won't be able to see it. All right, so the rear shock has been removed. You can see under the rear shock, there is the battery. And that side panel, that chrome side panel, that had to be removed. And that is right here. And that's for the adjuster. All right, guys, so here's a side-by-side comparison. The shock on the right is the Harley-Davidson shock, and the shock on the left is the Wilbur shock. And one of the things I'm going to point out is the adjustment handle. Like, this is plastic, and this, when I picked it up, I was like, wow, like this is metal. Like, this is actually very substantial. All right, and then the only thing holding it on, as far as the shock, there's 2 bolts. And that's obviously what we're going to have to put back on it. And we're going to put it back on now. And guys, I'm getting excited because we're almost near the end. I want to ride a lure, feel the difference, and hold my head up just a little bit higher as I ride by, knowing that I'm the only one in the world, allegedly, that has this motorcycle with this shock on the rear. All right, guys, so this is the finished product. The Wilbur's suspension rear shock is installed. No complications. Didn't have to remove the battery as we thought we might have to. Of course, the front fork is done. Everything has been reinstalled. Wilbur's suspension. All right, guys, so now the fun part. Take it out, ride it, and see what's what. All right, let's do it. Wow. So as soon as I pull off of the curb, it feels like my tire is underinflated because I already feel the softness of this new suspension. Just outstanding. All right, guys, we're gonna go for a ride now, give it a real test, get some wind roll therapy, and give these Germans something they haven't had in months. A ride on the Harley-Davidson motorcycle. And it's not freezing outside, there's no snow. There's the girls. Stefan will be riding Valiant. Mark will be riding Angel. They're not a straight, well, actually, neither one of them has ridden Valiant before, so this will be new. Now you get to ride a real motorcycle, Stefan.
Yeah, I already have some ear protection to ride it.
Slow. Yeah, I'm watching the rise, and I wouldn't say I'm shocked, cause I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride, this one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife, could've left 1,000 times just so by my side. This one's for the grind, I knew it would happen, just had to strengthen my mind. To the videos, they thought I was a black guy. That's hard to get over. I'm foreigner in the sport, but I'm fully devoted. I don't take it for granted that the door's been open. I knew I was different, I knew I was chosen. A breadwinner, but I'm soft-spoken. Authentic like a 5950 and there's no cap. Let's have a toast to that. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the They done baptized the bad guy. Still don't follow religion. The family's not average. The cotton's Egyptian. 500 for the shoes come dirty, but the European. Less is more and less is the bank. Up the score, I pull up from trade. From the tray, I'm ballin' like trade. Do what I can, I do what you can't. I wrote this 30,000 feet up, 10 toes stay G'd up. I'm tryna get that type of wealth, like a house on the hills, can't see us. Say the money still me up, stay humble, stay teed up. I don't tell you how to live, so don't hit me with no weak stuff. And if you know the deal, then you know the deal. If it's real, then you know it's real. Toast. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the
Guys, this was awesome. Awesome. Just awesome, guys. Guys, awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm gonna talk to you about it. Let me park the motorcycle and then I'm definitely gonna talk to you about how awesome this Wilbur suspension is. What an upgrade. All right, guys, before I say anything about this Wilbur suspension, I wanna again thank Stefan and Mark for taking a 9-hour flight from Germany to North Carolina and then driving for 4 hours to get here to Pooler, Georgia to deliver this Wilbur suspension, but not just deliver it, to install it on my motorcycle. Again, that's front and rear. I mean, what do you say? And this is the third time that Stefan has been here. Second time Mark has been here. And then after that, because I don't want them to come here and the only purpose is to put some suspension on my motorcycles. I like us to be able to hang out, have some fun, go for a ride. And I appreciated that too, so much so. And I know they did too. Like Mark told me, he said, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate this. I love coming to the States and being able to ride the roads, especially since their motorcycles have been in hibernation since November, right? So imagine you're leaving a place where it's freezing out and then you land and you're someplace where it's 78 degrees. And that's what we did today. And we had a ball. And when I was riding with them, I didn't want to stop riding. I really didn't. But I know they have to get back. But they appreciated it too. So again, thank you guys. Thank you, Wilbur Suspension. All right, guys. Now, about the Wilbur suspension. As soon as I pulled my motorcycle down my driveway, went down that little lip, and then the back went down. That right there, I felt, it almost felt like my tire was underinflated. All right, I know I said that before, but it bugs me out. How this suspension just smooths everything out, right? And then on the ride that we took, it just feels 100 times better. Now, it's funny because when I never rode a Softail motorcycle before. I never dealt with a suspension where it's just one piece in the back for the back. So I thought that the ride that I was feeling, that's how it's supposed to feel. Like that's the kind of motorcycle it is. It's like a hot rod motorcycle. It's not supposed to feel comfortable. Boy, was I wrong. So guys, listen, I'm sure I'm not the only one that didn't know this. And like I always say, you don't know what you don't know. Just like I didn't know how bad my suspension was on my other motorcycles until I got Wilbur suspension installed. So listen, guys, if you're interested in buying a Breakout, right? This is the hottest motorcycle for 2023 from the 2023 lineup of Harley-Davidson. At least in my opinion, it is. If you're buying this motorcycle, I'm letting you know right now, Wilbur suspension, it's awesome. So I haven't been riding Allure long, but I purposely rode on some roads because I knew that Stefan and Mark were coming here to change the suspension on this motorcycle, and I wanted to be able to do a fair comparison. So I went on some roads that are a little bumpy. I'm happy to report that I have to search long and hard to find bumpy roads here in Pooler, Georgia, and Savannah for that matter, and that's a good thing. But there's places where I can go. There's places that have railroad crossings, and I visited a few of those. And oh my God, guys, I got to tell you, going over those railroad crossings with this suspension versus the last, night and day. And I'm not, listen, I don't embellish, I don't over exaggerate, I don't sugarcoat, you know, I don't do the smoke, I don't do any of that. I'm always going to tell you guys exactly what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling it. And when I tell you this is night and day, guys. And like we said in the beginning of this video, this is a special order, right? This is not even available anywhere yet, let alone in the United States. It's not even going to be sold here. So if you guys buy a Breakout and you want to upgrade the suspension, see this box right here with Allure's name on it? This is the first one ever, anywhere, in the United States and anywhere. You could be the second. All right, guys, I'm going to put a link to Wilbur Suspension USA, which is actually located in New Jersey. I'll put that in the description section. And I'm also going to put a phone number there as well, just in case you want to call and order this. Because again, this is a special order. Don't you love special orders? Special orders are for special people. You guys can take that any way you want, as far as the word special. That's what I'm talking about. And it'll take, I guess, approximately 2 weeks. That's what I was told to get it. So it's an option, people. And it's always good to be able to get something that everybody can't get, right? Some people like that exclusivity. All right, listen, I want to thank Wilbur Suspension again. I want to thank Stefan. I want to thank Mark. Great guys. Safe travels for them back home. I want to thank you guys, preloaders and VI preloaders, for spending this time with me. I know there's anything you could be doing with your time, and the fact that you choose to spend a little bit of it with me, that's always appreciated, guys. Spend more time being thankful for the things that you have and less time complaining about the things that you don't. And if you have time to ride your motorcycle, you better make time to practice on it. And if you want to be comfortable while you're practicing and riding your motorcycle, upgrade your suspension to Wilbur Suspension. All right, guys? Until next time.